Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan Jaris and I am an Etsy seller of 6.5 years. I've done $1.3 million in revenue on Etsy. My entire background is in e-commerce. I also sell on my own website and on Amazon. I've worked for big corporations in e-commerce for my entire career. And now I'm an Etsy business coach and I teach people like you how to create multi-six-figure Etsy shops for themselves. So a lot of the people I work with are starting their Etsy shops from ground zero. And a lot of other people I work with have had Etsy shops for 10 plus years, and maybe their sales are starting to slip, so they're trying to figure out ways to kind of boost things back up again to the level that they were at before. So I help a range of people, but the common thread is that everyone aspires to have a multi-six-figure Etsy shop, and that is the direction that they're all moving towards. So I like to be very straight to the point. I don't like fluff, so we're just going to jump into it. Today's video is all about print on demand versus physical products that you ship. So a lot of people that come to me are trying to figure out what the best way forward is on Etsy. They're trying to decide, should I do physical handmade products? Should I do print on demand? Should I do digital products? In today's video, I'm going to answer this. So when I talk about print on demand, yes, these are also physical products, but you're obviously not shipping anything yourself. And when I talk about physical products, yes, I am including supplies, handmade products, and vintage. The first thing we need to address, we need to get this out of the way right away. One of the biggest obstacles to selling physical products that you ship is that people say, I don't have the space for this. I don't have room to store all this stuff. I'm not set up for this at my house. I don't know how to ship anything. People often assume that you need a lot of space to run a physical product business from your house. Now, I am here to say you absolutely do not. In my first 12 months on Etsy, I was doing all physical products. I did $134,000 physical products that I shipped, and I did it out of a one-bedroom apartment in San Diego, California. This was a small one-level, one-bedroom apartment. In this apartment, we also had a dog and a baby and two newlywed adults who were just married, just combined all their stuff into one life. It was not spacious, to say the least. Yes, we had product stashed away behind couches. We had product in kitchen cupboards. We had boxes stored in the bottom of our linen closet, but we made it work, and only because we wanted it badly enough. Yes, it was a one-bedroom apartment in an urban area. We were literally using the jigsaw on the patio of that one-bedroom apartment. Yes, we got in trouble. Most people in that situation would have said, oh no, there goes, my business. Maybe we'll try this again in a couple years once we have a house, once we have more space, or maybe we'll shift to a different product that might work better. Maybe I'll try print on demand or digital products. No, that was not us. We saw the opportunity in physical products and we did not let getting reported by our neighbors stop us. We bought a $150 generator and a portable work table. We put it in the back of the truck. We drove along the freeway and found a dead-end road along the 15, which is a major freeway here in California. We would park our truck on the side of the road right along this freeway, and we would get out our generator and our jigsaw and our little table, and we would spend 30 minutes cutting out the orders that we needed. This mentality and this willingness to do whatever it takes to succeed is why we have been so successful. You've got to decide that you are unstoppable. You simply make it work because you have to. All this to say, if you tell me that you cannot do a physical product business because you live in a one-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment, that's not the reason. It's because you don't want to make the sacrifice that it takes to do a physical product business in that space. It's not that it's impossible, it's completely possible. But it all comes down to which sacrifices you are willing to make and how determined you are to make something happen. So if you are saying that the only option on Etsy for you is print on demand or digital products because of a space issue, I'm sorry. Instead, it's better just to own that you're not wanting to make the sacrifices needed to do physical products in that space. So the biggest difference between physical products and doing print on demand is actually the perceived barrier to entry. And this leads into so many other differences. This perceived barrier to entry, note that I say perceived, not the actual barrier to entry, but the perceived barrier to entry is what creates the challenges with print on demand versus physical products. So the perceived barrier to entry with print on demand is so much lower than the perceived barrier to entry for physical products. People assume that print on demand is going to be easier. And as a result, print on demand is completely saturated with a bunch of these like C-level shops, right? These kind of mediocre shops that have maybe 30 to 100 listings in them, and they're just not doing anything. People think that print on demand is like the easiest way to make money on Etsy. They think, oh, anyone can do that. I can do that. They think it doesn't really take much talent. And because they think it's the easiest way to make money, they put in a mediocre effort, they throw up some designs, and then they sit and wait. And most of the time, the people doing that, they're not talented in design, but they think that just because they have a Canva account, they can make millions of dollars doing print on demand. Now, the truth is that this low perceived barrier to entry has just flooded the market on Etsy with all these mediocre designs. So customers coming to Etsy looking for something special in the print on demand category rarely look past the first couple of pages. They're not going to spend 20 minutes searching through pages. People tend to just trust the first couple of pages for print on demand products, and then they call it a day. So if you are not making it to those first couple of pages with print on demand, it's going to be a really, really tough battle to get traction. On the other hand, with physical products, customers are willing to search a bit more past the first couple of pages because they know that they might actually find a diamond in the rough. So if you're starting out with print on demand on Etsy, unless you're getting to those first couple of pages of search results, it's going to be a much bigger hurdle to overcome. So the next difference between print on demand and physical products that you ship is the level of talent that you have. If we don't want to compete on price in the print on demand category, we have to have actual exceptional talent in our designs. And I don't just mean the talent to copy successful shops, right? To make a copy of a design that is slightly different to avoid violations. To get traction with print on demand, you have to have actual talent for designing, number one, but also innovation. You have to be able to come up with something that's somewhat original. So if you think that with print on demand, you can just copy successful designs and change something small about it, and that this will lead you to a full-time income on Etsy, I beg to differ. Because with this business model, you will always be chasing success. Your entire business model will be based on chasing the success of others, the original creators, and trying to copy them in a less talented, maybe less experienced way. You will never become a market leader by doing that. And personally, I would never want to run a business that way. So if you are feeling like I am just not artistic, I am not talented in design, I'm not even feeling very creative, then I would highly recommend that you start your Etsy shop in the supply category. If you feel like, okay, I'm somewhat talented, I have, some skills, some eye for design, then I might do the physical handmade product category. And if you feel like you are an exceptional, maybe graphic designer, or you have an exceptional eye for design, an ability to innovate, then I would probably do the print on demand category. In the purpose of this video, comparing physical shipped products to print on demand, we're not considering digital products. That we can save for another video. So the reason I think you actually need to be less talented to succeed in the handmade category is because there are so many additional points of differentiation that you can infuse into your product and your shop's experience. With print on demand, your hands are tied a little bit more and you're much more limited in the resources that you can use to differentiate your shop's print on demand from another shop's, even down to the mock-ups, right? With the handmade physical product category, I actually think that you can differentiate with things outside of your talent. So the next difference I want to talk about between print on demand and physical shipped products is the time aspect. How do you want to spend your time building your business? With print on demand, you're going to be spending your time at the computer, making designs, making listings, cranking out as many as possible. Your talent is going to be one of your biggest assets, and if you don't have that talent, you're going to have to hire out the design part, and that is going to cut into your margin. So just be aware of that. But to be really, really successful with print on demand, you need to just be absolutely tenacious about designing and cranking out more and more listings, and good listings. So this means good photos, video, yes, video too, variations, and also incorporating some type of product photography yourself. I would expect to crank out about 500 listings in your first month or two of doing print on demand. Now, if you are doing a physical shipped product such as supplies, handmade, or vintage, then I would expect your first month or two being spent cranking out about 100 listings. But really, your time and your talent is going to be focused on finding opportunities for high margin items and opportunities for holes in the market where you can fill the need for that solution with your product. So it's really about spotting profitable opportunities and differentiating yourself from the competition. With physical shipped products, it's a lot easier to see something that's working well for a competitor and to differentiate enough so that you don't just look like a copycat. With print on demand, it really tends to look like you are kind of tweaking a successful design to become a cheaper copy of it. Physical products, you are also going to be spending your time using different marketing strategies to really package your listings in a different way. Better photos, videos, variations that are really compelling and increase your conversion. You can also find ways to improve upon the utility of an item to add more utility value to it. You can change sizes, colors, materials much more easily to differentiate yourself from the competition as well. So where would you rather spend your time? How would you rather spend your time building your business? Both are a lot of work and both are time intensive, but you're going to be doing different things, and those different things might require different strengths. Where do your strengths better align? Now, the last thing that I want to talk about when comparing print on demand and physical shipped products is a really important thing, and this is your profitability and the opportunity to really make a lot of money. So if your goal is to run a high margin business with a high average order value and a business that is difficult to copy, where you can scale to multi six figures faster, then I recommend doing a physical product based business. The thing is, you can always add print on demand to a physical product based business, and you do this in a way where the site merchandising really makes sense, and if you do it correctly, it will actually increase your conversion, increase multi-item orders, and increase your average order value. So remember, we need to be an anthropology, not a flea market. I could spend an hour talking about that, but if you don't know what I mean by that, send me a message. Now I'm going to hit you with some quick differences that'll help you determine which route is better for you. Do you burn out easily? If you burn out really easily, I recommend doing something that takes as little creativity and creative energy to do. And for that reason, I would recommend the supply category for you. Are you someone who's maybe not based in the US? Maybe you live overseas. Maybe you don't have the ability to ship internationally, and maybe your domestic market is maybe very poor or not profitable. Then I would do print on demand or digital products, but today we're just talking about print on demand versus physical shipped products. If you are going to be traveling the world or living abroad or living out of hotels or Airbnbs, if your lifestyle is very transient and you foresee it continuing to be very transient, then I would do print on demand. I've done physical shipped products while living out of hotels before. Yes, I've done this for about 6 weeks at a time, and it's a lot. It's totally possible, and I was doing between $10,000 to $15,000 in revenue a month while living in Airbnbs and a residence inn. We did this. If you want something to happen in your life and you are relentless, you will make it work. You will make anything work. And we were determined to make this work, and we did. I wouldn't recommend it long term, but it's possible. So if long term you are going to be transient, I would stick with print on demand. If you are going to be having a baby or taking a medical leave of absence for a long period of time, I would do print on demand. If you are already doing a physical product-based business and you're going to be having a baby, then I would look at incorporating some print on demand into my current physical shipped product business. If you live near a major port, right? A major port in the world, I would look into doing physical shipped products. You have access to resources, whether you realize it or not, that are actually a high barrier of entry to other people. And I would do physical shipped products hands down. If you are thinking of shifting to print on demand from a physical shipped product business, you are going to have a much easier time to do that if you have 5,000 sales or more. That's just something I want to point out. If you need help with any of this, deciding which way to go for your business, for the lifestyle you want, for your family, for your future, I would love to talk to you. I would love to help you. So my program, Multi-Six-Figure Etsy Blueprint, is available for you. I help students build multi-six-figure Etsy shops for themselves. Some of my students start with 0 sales. Some of them start with over 40,000 sales. I have students from all over the world. Some students start with just my course. Some students start with the course plus coaching. Some students do just the course and then add coaching later. This really can fit into exactly what you need, and that's why I like to talk to you before you enroll to make sure I fully understand what your vision and what your goals are. So it's really made to fit your needs. So if you'd like help, please reach out. And in the future, I was thinking about making a video comparing print on demand to digital products and maybe physical shipped products to digital products. So if you'd like to see a video on that, let me know in the comments, and I do take that feedback when I am working on future videos. Please subscribe and click the bell below if you want to be notified when I post another video. Otherwise, I will see you in a few days for the next video.